Mr. Motor. My name is Tommy. Today is Saturday, September 21st, 2024. And I'm here at ValleyScare for opening night of ValleyScare for the 2024 season. There was no ValleyScare the last 2 years, so it's been 3 years since I've been able to do this, so very, very excited to be here. They have 6 mazes and 3 scare zones, and I'll be checking out all of them. All right, let's go. And I am in. The security line looked extremely long and cumbersome, but actually was really, really quick. Maybe 5-ish minutes. Here's the map of the event. Basically, I'm running off the Renegade first, and then I'm gonna do the mazes outside this back area first, and then finish with these 3 in the backside, right beyond High Roller. The monsters are slowly starting to creep out. Right here is about as far as they'll let us go, but we are minutes away from them dropping the rope. Yeah. So the fountain decoration is the Headless Horseman. That's pretty cool. Got like opening ceremony going on over there, but I'd rather be in line for this. And we're off. I love the skeleton they put up in the water slide tower. Oh, I love these guys. It's gonna look even better at night with the orange lights in the trees. Always hits the spot. Empty tunnel.
Oncoming riders, welcome.
Total walk-on.
This isn't corkscrew. We don't take you upside down. This is Renegade. We'll drop you 91 feet towards the ground. Enjoy your ride on Renegade. Yeehaw!
I was able to get 3 rides very quickly. That is the strongest airtime I've gotten on this thing in years. Probably since the last time I was at ValleyScare. It always seems to run a little quicker this time of year. This area is already starting to look beautiful. This will be my first maze of the day. Chateau Du Damme. If you don't know, I can't show inside of any of these. But I loved it. They had 2 different mannequin-like people. I for sure thought both of them were mannequins, but then they both caught me with really good scares. That's the biggest difference I remember from this, from 3 years ago. Otherwise, a number of just very solid scares, very creepy looking scare actors. Very good presence. There's very good, I will say, dinner scene. That is very, very good. This will be kind of a tough one to beat, honestly. Oh, and it was also a 15-minute wait. I would say a full length of each switchback is like maybe just under 10 minutes, give or take, just an estimation from what I could tell. Yeah, this is definitely looking beautiful. Nice little orange lights. Very interesting little ambiance out here. I love this little pumpkin group setup right inside the water park. It's beautiful with the Wild Thing lights in the background. That's what I love here, is all the little decorations and the lights. Now it's time for Mr. Cleaver's. Okay, Mr. Cleaver's was a much shorter wait, only about 10 minutes. I kind of had not the best group right in front of me, the type of group that's screaming really loud and kind of log jamming almost every room. Ruined, you know, probably about half the scares, but kind of a bummer. I like to go through this again on a future visit when I can hopefully have a better experience with groups around me. That being said, it had some really good finales. Like, it was like kind of 3 of them, I would say, that all hit pretty well. You know, I'd kind of lost hope about the maze at that point, but then the finale hit really well, and I was like, oh wow, pretty good. Good to see the day to night contrast with some of these decorations. They all look a little bit better at night with the lights on them in the dark. Really cool jack-o'-lanterns at the base of the Wild Thing right here. Can never get enough Halloween decorations around the park. It looks like the arcade is an arcade. That's a little bit different. A lot of years they would turn it into a bar, but I remember a few years ago they kept it as an arcade as well. This drink stand is open. Never once saw it open on, honestly, I think it's been years since I've seen this drink stand open. Right at the base of the Wild Thing Lift Hill. Looks like it's all alcoholic beverages for the most part. ValleyScare is indeed back, but they do not have any sort of show going on in here. So this theater is still dormant. This is a bit of a change. They have a little scare zone right here, Toxicity. That used to be the pumpkin, well, basically what this is. Kind of swap locations with another scare zone.
You're doing pretty good. Y'all on the top. Alright, get down, buddy.
So they finally did open up this food stand right here, right next to the new maze Cryptid Land. I'm gonna go kind of see what they have on the menu. It looks like they just have drinks and then this Frito chili thing for the only food item. And now time for Cryptid Land. Pretty high expectations for this, as this place is Zombie High, which was my favorite maze. But quite the wait here, so just under an hour wait, and I'm just about to enter. I really like what they did with the facade of this entrance here. Nice little lighting effects. Let's hope the wait is worth it, and let's hope this is by far the worst wait of the evening. Okay, that was definitely worth the wait, actually. Very, very unique concept. Basically roadside tourist trap, but it's monsters. So I mean, you had kind of creature from the Black Lagoon, Mothman, another like Bugman, a couple Yeti type creatures. Definitely a lot of variety to it. You can sort of see the exit. There's like this alien scene at the end. I mean, there's quite a bit of variety. I mean, really what makes this maze more than any other here is the set design. They definitely put a lot of money into it. Well, for a maze, I should say. Not gonna say anything too crazy like that, but very, very immersive set design. Very, very good. This is definitely the best one so far. Here's a sign for my last three mazes. The entrance is right here, right next to the Lucky Loon. Hopefully a year from now, this is a major construction site for a new roller coaster. Right now, it's pretty much nothing. In past years, this path could be quite enveloped by fog, but it's not really the case tonight. Either or a case of not enough fog machines running, or it is slightly windy, which certainly affects things too. Okay. Undertakers. This will be my first one back here. It's kind of an indoor/outdoor maze, so I've always really liked it. Basically like you're walking between grave sites. Okay, just a 10-minute wait for Undertakers. I really, really like this maze a lot. I'd have to rate it my number 2 so far. Definitely one where when the fog effects are working really, really well, it elevates this one so much more because those spaces between buildings are just all fogged up. There was one building in this maze that was extremely well fogged up, and I just love that so much. Just a nice, creepy little atmosphere, and I love all the headstones everywhere throughout this indoor-outdoor maze. But yeah, this is my number 2. Cryptid Land's number 1. These are Cleaver's 4, Chateau 3, this 2, Cryptid Land 1. Now Berserkers. Tell this is already a very long looking line. This looks like it's gonna be a half hour or more. But then right here, you get the old looping starship. Just a haunt decoration now. Oh, that's a much longer line inside too. It took 30 minutes of waiting just to get to the covered portion of the Berserkers queue. I forgot how nice their facade looks. Kind of the Valkyrie thing right there, and big sign. It's very nice looking. Yeah, Berserkers ended up being about a 40-minute wait. So a little disappointing, honestly. I feel like I remember this being better the last time I did it a few years ago. Set design's fairly good, but there were never any big scares. at least no one really caught me, and it was hard for me to imagine anything working out really surprisingly. I mean, there's one really good animatronic they have in there, but other than that, fairly disappointing. I'd only have to put Mr. Cleaver as worse than this, but that was honestly mostly because the guest in front of me, I think, just kind of ruined quite a bit of it. So this was still a better experience than that. So, oh, you can access Blood on the Boundary Waters via this pathway right here, or right after you exit Berserkers. Just go right here. So Blood on the Boundary Waters was a scare zone in the past, but now it is a maze. So we have 6 mazes this year instead of 5 like we had a couple years ago, or 3 years ago I should say now actually. Just about to enter. Only a 10-minute wait. Blood on the Boundary Waters. Definitely the worst maze. It feels like a scare zone that's trying to be a maze, but it's just too underdeveloped to qualify as a maze. Which is sad because I really like the concept. I think the little houses they have are well designed, but there's too little of them. It feels too wide open. You kind of need a little bit of a claustrophobic feel to execute a maze well. So this is definitely bottom of the list. So Cryptid Land number 1. I would say Undertakers number 2. Chateau 3. Berserkers 4. Mr. Cleaver's 5. Then Blood on the Boundary Waters 6. Final rankings. We will see on my future visits if I alter my rankings at all. Maybe, maybe not. We will see. So it appears this pumpkin is interacting with guests. It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's ValleyScare. It's not tricks and treats. Yeah, well.
Now I'm going to check out the Carnevil scare zone. Just 3 scare zones to look at here. Yeah, I'm not big on Carnevil. I'm not huge on clowns in general. And to be fair, there's not a ton of scare zones I love in general. I mean, scare zones are just sort of fine to me. They're nothing terribly special. And this is just okay, I guess. Now I'm gonna check out the toxicity scare zone right in front of me here. So, toxicity. Gotta be brutally honest here. It's pretty low effort. I mean, as far as set design, those metal things you see up ahead, that's literally it. It doesn't really add a whole lot. And the way the scare actors are designed, I will say, there's not a whole lot of variety. They're mostly wearing toxic hazard suits, not doing a ton. I will say I don't love that they moved all the kind of pumpkin foresty stuff over here. They kind of spread it out. Feels like there's less to look at. I wish it was back over there as it had been in previous years, and that over here was still a scare zone, but whatever, it is what it is. I still appreciate the pumpkin forest that we have because, you know, even if it's a lesser than it was, it's still pretty enjoyable, but oh well, I'd overall have to call this a downgrade, unfortunately. And so technically the 3rd scare zone is right in front of me, even though it's not really labeled. It's called Signal 0. At least I assume it is. I assume it's referring to all the people wearing various protective equipment that allows them to perform various sliding maneuvers on the concrete, kind of throws sparks in the air and sort of shocks people as they do in front of them. But, which is fine. It's a common thing to have at these types of events, but I always sort of think of it as an unlabeled scare zone, you know, and then it's more of a surprise for what it is than something you go out of your ways to see. I don't know. In general, the scare zones are very much a downgrade this year, very much so, but I also don't weigh scare zones heavily as I grade my experience anyways, so not a huge issue for me there at least. And that is it for today. Very, very excited to have ValleyScare back. I will be back once more, if not twice more, for the ValleyScare season. Probably twice more. I really, really enjoyed myself tonight. I want to do basically everything again. I mean, scare zones are just fine, but you know, kind of is what it is. Mazes were all pretty good. Cryptid Land, I would have to say overall an improvement on Zombie High, and I kind of wish they had replaced a weaker maze with Cryptid Land. You know, I really don't like that they removed the best maze, but at least they did improve upon it, so that's good at least. But overall, just very, very happy to have it back. It's like I can't really complain at the end of the day because there literally was no ValleyScare the previous 2 years, so you know, it's hard to really complain here, but I try to be as objective as I can with my critiques as possible. But yeah, Cryptid Land is number 1, Undertakers number 2, Chateau 3, Berserkers 4, Mr. Cleaver's 5, and then Blood on the Boundary Waters number 6. I mean, Blood on the Boundary Waters would be like a very good scare zone, but like a pretty poor maze. That's how I would think of it. So I can't complain too much with Blood on the Boundary Waters, but I mean, at least it was only a 10-minute wait. Usually scare zones, there's no wait whatsoever. And Carnevil, I feel like in years past, used to be a way better scare zone. But I do recall the Masquerade Ball. I always thought that was actually like a very good scare zone because it was extremely atmospheric. They had really good music going around. There were so many characters, and the characters were very ornate in their decoration and everything, but oh well, is what it is. Weaker scare zones and mazes, I would say, are slightly better. So overall, I would call that an improvement. But yeah, I will be in a month going to Orlando, basically doing SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Aquatica, Discovery Cove. Probably go to Disney Springs and some restaurant stuff there. I'll be staying at a Hilton Grand Vacation Resort. I'll be making all sorts of videos from that trip. I was going to do Universal, but I changed it kind of at the last minute. So, all right, excited to have a lot more videos coming out in the near future. ValleyScare videos and then Orlando videos. So, all right, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.